Greenhouse Guru here, building a T3 greenhouse. As you can see behind me, we have our Purlins ran. I'm gonna go over what is what. Obviously, this is a hoop. Now, when I say Purlin, a Purlin is a piece of metal that runs all the way down the center and down each side. Where you set these bars is all up to you. Obviously, the center one is really nice to have it in the middle, but on these ones, you can go further down. You can go further up. I like to always come like 18 inches off of where it bends and just run them. So what I do personally is I tie a string on that end and I tie a string on this end, run it tight, and then you have these clamps. They're called Purling Clamps. I'll show you what they look like right now. This is a Purling Clamp. It goes over the hoop, and then you have a space for your pipe to go in. I'm gonna videotape the guys putting a couple of Purling Clamps on to give you a how-to, but it's pretty self-explanatory and very easy to do. As you can see, they have a string. They pull it as tight as they can, and then they just put up two guys stand on a ladder. As you can see, super muddy. Every time you take a step up, mud goes onto the ladder, gets on your hands, tools. It's pretty fun. All right, up on a ladder now, myself. You are going to take the Purling Clamp apart. Got my younger brother Ian here, demonstrating how to assemble and put together Purling Clamps on the bars. So, super self-explanatory. They're also known as saddle clamps. There's a couple different terms that people use or terminology for the clamps, but all the same. Saddle clamp, Purling clamp. Put one side on the bottom, one side on the top. Slide them through. Put the little nut on. And it's as easy as that. And then before you tighten them up, you can always slide this back and forth to get your exact line straight. We've got a nice tight string. And there you have it, folks. That is how you put a Purling Clamp on right there. After we get all the Purling Clamps set up on this greenhouse, right now we just have the bars hanging on a couple of Purling Clamps per, so that we can get all the bars up. And then we go back and we go to each one that doesn't have a Purling Clamp and we fill them in, just like I showed you with Ian. After we get all of our Purling Clamps on, this greenhouse is ready to start framing up our end walls and then running channel. And I'll get to that, how to put channel on, where to put it, and we'll go from there. So I'm just gonna take a step back, help the guys, and we'll bang this out, and then we will be back doing channel. Cheers. All right, what's up, folks? So after you get all of your purlins bolted up all the way down, you're ready to start channeling. Channel is all personal preference on where you want to put it. I like to put it up higher than lower because it lets natural air out during the summer. Ian's gonna come over here and help Travis after he gets some string ran, but Travis is pretty much just running, you know, an inch above the string that we have ran. The string is tacked 5 feet right here, tacked 5 feet and pulled super tight. So now we just run our channel right under or right above the string all the way down. Once you do that on both sides, you then run your up and over channel, up and over the top last hoop and down this end wall on each side. And you'll see why later on in the video. We are gonna work on getting all of this channel on the structure, and then I will be back. Right now I'm working on end wall for light traps, doors, and fans. And the boys are working on getting everything channeled, and then we will come and go through how to skin, what to skin first. We'll go through assembling roll bars. Some roll bars are gonna vary. Some of you guys are just gonna have 1.3 inch diameter metal, sometimes 10 feet long, and you're gonna have to put them together. Sometimes they're gonna be 20 feet long. And then other times you're gonna upgrade and pay for something, which I like, is the 2 and 3 inch aluminum roll bar. Helps your greenhouse roll up faster, is a little bit lighter. In my opinion, it's worth the extra buck, but that's me as a consumer, Cody. Not speaking for T3 or anything like that. I just prefer the aluminum roll bar. So Cheers, guys, everyone. Have a great day. All the greenhouses that we've been doing on this property are double inflation blower. I highly suggest if you ever want to put a greenhouse up and you're going to be running it during the cold season, get double clear polys, get inflation blowers. I can't stress this enough. Condensation, mildew, bud rot. I mean, all of these words, if you're having trouble with any of them in the greenhouse, it's probably because you don't have two clear polys and you're not inflating and insulating your greenhouse right, and it's causing your stuff to rot out. So get at your boy. If you ever want any tips, hit me up. I'm always consulting, helping people out. If you want a greenhouse, get at me, T3. I am the greenhouse guru. This is a T3 greenhouse kit, and we are crushing it. Cheers, guys. What's up, folks? Up here, working on end wall framing. This is a Simpson tie. If you don't have them, get them. They are very handy. T3 doesn't always provide an end wall depending on the budget that you're working with. If not, you're gonna wanna purchase some 14 and 12 foot long 2x4s and a bunch of Simpson ties. Depending on how many fans and light traps you have and uprights is gonna depend on how many Simpson ties you need. And they really do work. I love them. As you can see, I have one Simpson tie on each side. I will put another one on this side and this side. I'm just framing right now. And then I go back and add structural integrity. Please don't judge me right now. Like, oh my God, he's only got one of those Simpson ties on there. That's not very, it's not very good, but we're not finished yet. So just want to make these short little videos and segments as I go along to edit and add to the videos and to give you guys insight on how I frame in my end walls when the customer doesn't purchase an end wall kit. I highly suggest end wall kits. They come with square 2x2, really beefy metal. I think it's like 12 or 10 gauge, and you can opt to get regular house doors. You can opt to get roll up 8x8 tractor doors on both sides, so you can run skid steers through. It's all up to you, the consumer, and yeah, it's coming together. Light traps are going to be 3 feet up on both sides with a 4 foot wide by 7 foot tall door. And after I get done with this side, all right, here we have 2-inch roll bar. And what Ian has done is he's taken this square metal and slidden it into the roll bar. 2 tech screws to ensure integrity. So basically, this square bar is halfway into this piece. This piece is connected to the next one. You use the square bar to connect each roll bar. As you can see, all the purlins up, side channels up, front end wall's done, back end wall's gonna get done tomorrow. And we'll be building a platform inside the door, 8 feet high, 4 feet out from the door, to put the Modine heater, which is right there. Good job, guys. T3 Greenhouse Supply, Greenhouse Guru. This is a T3 greenhouse, 20 by 100 ABK. I'm standing on an exhaust fan looking out, and we are the Greenhouse Gurus. Cheers, everybody. What's going on? Look how tall that reach is, 20 feet. But getting the first plastic ready to pull. What you're gonna wanna do is pick a side to roll out your plastic. Throw about 4 ropes to 100 foot. If it's smaller, obviously less. And I have 3 guys here, so we'll pull all the ropes tight. And then we will tie one off. And then continue to pull each one tight as we go and tie off. And once you have your end walls tacked up, I like to use small pieces of wiggle wire. I'll clip and I'll temporarily tack this in like 5 spots, 5 points. Pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And That just holds that blackout wall there because you want to pull your clear plastic over the top of that black wall and tack it again. And then once you get your plastic nice and center with your purlins, that's when you're going to forever wiggle wire over the top of the hoop. And then you're going to pull on the plastic towards the other end, and you're going to wiggle wire on the top of that hoop. Once you do that, then you can start to wiggle wire these all the way down with your clear on both sides. Bear with me, but we'll go through it as we go. I just wanted to give you a basic how-to of skinning these greenhouses. The reason you wiggle wire it to up here is so that right here freely it can roll up and down. And as we have seen, I have my clear roll-up bar, which is 1 3/4 inch, and I have my 2-inch blackout roll bar running parallel, already hooked up. Bear with us, it is a very muddy site. We'll be wiping these bars down as we go. And we're gonna get to pulling this tarp. Cheers, everybody. We are the Greenhouse Scooter, and this is a T3 greenhouse. Alright, first layer of poly is on. What you want to do is pull it over the greenhouse first, and then get it pulled over that edge, over your clips, and just leave this side, or you could tack this top and then tack over here. What I like to do is just tack this side with like 4 tacks, just like I did the end wall. I leave the end wall tacks underneath the poly for a moment, and then once I tack that side up, I go over here from the outside and I pull this tight, tack it, and then once I like my lines, because I follow my seam so that it looks good, and my lines line up, you know, the same all the way down, then I will forever wiggle over the top on this side, forever wiggle on the top on that side, and then run your side pieces. Remember to do each end before running your sides. All right, boom. Got the first layer of poly on. By customer's request, they wanted the double poly to go all the way down because they aren't gonna be rolling this up till 5-6 months from now. So they'd rather prefer to inflation blower the whole thing. Each to their own. All right, so I've got all my tacks holding my end wall and my clear. I've got all my tacks holding my end wall and my clear. I've climbed up this side twice and this side twice. Don't get discouraged when you start pulling one side and it gets loose. You're gonna have to climb a ladder a bunch. But once you get it where you like it and you get those seams running the same distance all the way down, that's what I strive for, is perfection and getting those Instagram quality greenhouses pumped out that still just rock it. This is what it's gonna look like. I got my center tack in. If you look down the center, my seam runs parallel to the bar underneath, which is right here. You can kind of see it vaguely, but they run straight all the way down. Now I got my top tack in. I've got a tack that's underneath here that's holding the clear, the first clear, and the end wall. It's tricky, but at the same time, it's totally doable. You just reach underneath, you pop that tack, then with the other hand, you hold this down with one, and then you tack with the other. You do all the way down on both sides, and then go to the other side. This is how you do it with the tarp itself too. Just imagine one tarp here. You tack this side nice, and then you go all the way over there, and you tack that side nice, and it's gonna affect this one, so you're gonna go back over here, and vice versa until you get your tarp where you like it. Then you get these wiggle wired all the way in 100% after you get your tacks where you want them and where you're happy. And so you'll wiggle wire this end wall up and over, you'll go to that end wall and wiggle wire up and over, and then you'll do your side pieces. And I can't stress this enough. Why? Is because if you pull the sides down, it's gonna make it carriage. You wanna pull it tight from each end so that you don't get that nasty sag. You want it nice and tight, and that's what we're striving for. Is pull tight, and it's not tight right now, it's just becoming tacked. So cheers, everybody. All right, another good tip, to put a roll bar down before you clip it, and you want to cut your plastic, and use your roll bar to push up against, pardon me, use your roll bar to push up against the greenhouse so it creates a nice flat edge, and then you can determine a nice even cut as you go along, and then you roll it up and you put clips or pieces of channel. $20 by $100 greenhouse double inflation blower.